come out. Some do.
Well, that's the session. Everybody create new characters. We're done.
Oh no.
I assume you're joking.
You haven't run into that yet. There's
Bold
no
assumption.
astral dreadnought. No astral dreadnoughts that you've encountered yet. So,
Aren't those on the astral plane? I guess they could come to the material plane.
it's a funny thing how like that intradimensional, like that stomach in their mouth works, depending on the kind you're using, because they can do weird and very cool shit. Fun fact. Once, just for fun, someone captured an astral dreadnought and then forced it to do the loop like the world serpent, writing glyphs and sigils and runes on its skin to essentially just make a giant Stargate.
Yeah, that can get kind of fucky.
Yeah, so it's essentially just that is to travel to the other plane. So whenever you want to use it, you essentially just blast whatever rune's going to start the sequence for the plane you want to go to.
All right.
Right, but other worlds aside, what do you?
Forget exactly where we had left off. Did we all see that these things were like separate to begin with, or are these like? Did we like? Because two of us just woke up.
Yeah,
you
we
don't
saw
know.
separate.
You
No,
honestly
we fought some of
don't
them.
know.
No, they're still.
You tried. They are currently separate. One of you remembers seeing one hooded thing, and when they tried to pounce upon it, it seemed to divide into three. One running in circles, one trying to go back into the bag to apparently continue feeding on the rations that you had just procured. Another is currently cowering underneath one of your fellow party members.
Yeah, it could be that they were just one larger creature, or they very well could just be three of them standing on top of each other's shoulders in a trench coat.
I am protecting one of them, right? Because it ran away from Nishoni.
It was cowering under a rock. I think that's the one you're trying to cover. There's one that Nishoni's trying to crush, I think, and the other one's I don't know if he was captured or not by Thea, but you noticed that grappling them is a little bit trickier than it looks, but definitely still possible.
Was Nishoni crushing it, or did Leah try to crush it? Because I think she tried and like it turned into vapor and then reformed somewhere else.
I think Leah tried to hold it and it vapored out of her hand.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nishoni was trying to crush it.
Okay. Leah's holding like the bag like shut, like holding it shut so that they can't get in.
It's currently just pawing at your feet like a small, desperate little creature. Just looking at you with... And you notice it again, there's no inner mouth, it's just glowing red with vapor coming out. And those glowing red eyes. It's eerie, it's odd. It's not natural in any way whatsoever.
What the fuck are these things?
Would any of us know?
Leah looks at the two people who she thinks might have a better understanding of what these things may be than she would, because she got no clue.
That is a very bold assumption.
You have a better chance, not that you know, a better chance at knowing, because Leah has not lived with these monsters. She's lived with different monsters. The real monsters were the friends we made along the way. Sorry.
No, the real monsters are like the small archive I have of very awful things, some of which I'm not going to send at you. This is one of the rejects I didn't think you guys should have to deal with.
All right.
Surprise.
Promise you, this you'll never have to deal with. Where you are right now. Whether you come across it in the future, your choice.
Hey, how did you find one of my monsters for Gula?
Dun, dun.
Yeah, no. Don't like that face. Not even a mother could love that
What do you
face.
mean? It's adorable. He's just smiling.
He's holding a severed hand.
It's literally like his mouth has decayed into like the bottom half of his face is just a hole with spikes coming out of it.
He's just our cotton. Can't you? Come on, you guys know Mortal Kombat.
That's the toothy maw that Matthew Mercer refers to every time he says toothy maw. It's the toothiest of maws. At least on human.
You guys, you're nowhere near where these guys would be, roaming. So, you guys are dealing with like the scavengers. Cute little reptile troublemakers the size of squirrels. They're almost like, stress relief toys that, eat.
Right.
And have many panic attacks when they're discovered.
They seem to be
Evidently.
really relieving stress right now for us.
I mean, for some of
Maybe
you,
for
who knows?
you. Maybe for you. Stress is beginning to mount for me.
It's like you guys have never dealt with semi-immortal beings before.
Semi-immortal, at least semi-intangible. Maybe not entirely intangible, but mostly intangible.
Am I able to try and
Evidence.
coax one of those creatures into my hand?
If you're covering one of them, you can definitely try. If you'd
I
like
want
to
to try.
Roll me a good old animal handling. No, you haven't done anything to them, so no, disadvantage. Straight roll.
Ooh, 17 plus 2, 19.
Hey, and you, this time, he is definitely not frightening and fear away from you, but he does look at your hand. How exactly are you offering this? Exactly what are you doing?
Like, you know how you stick your hand out to a cat so they can sniff it before you pet them? That's what Keelan's doing.
Like palm up, palm down, fingers outstretched, like making a mini paw, making a fist.
Palm down, fingers kind of relaxed, just kind of placing it in front of him so that he can see that she's not going to harm him and give her a sniff. If that's what
And he
they
grabs
do.
your finger.
Let's
bites it off.
see if you keep them fingers.
You don't need those, do you?
Nah, I got 9 other ones, it's fine.
Bold of you to assume he's only going to take one.
Ooh. So he does actually do that weird kind of dog cat slowly approach, sniff, and just take a look. Quick question: what is there anything on your hand, though, when you're reaching out? Clothing,
Other than the ring,
small bobs, rings, anything like that?
though, don't you have the no, not tulip. Was it the ring that
The
we
flower
got?
ring,
that
the
Leo
lily
gave?
ring.
The lotus, yeah, the lily
Lily, lotus. That's right.
white.
I think
Lotus,
that would
it's the ring.
definitely be the only thing on her finger. It's the lotus ring, and then on her wrist are the 2 ruby bracelets.
Sure you don't got those on the other hand?
Let me roll for it. Nope, I sure don't.
Okay, cool. A 3 and a 6. Cool. It's very interested in the ring and the rubies, and it's not that it's trying to take them off your hand, but it's trying to almost figure them out while you're still wearing them. So it's less of accepting your hello gesture and more of like now you're just the new thing he's interested in. He seems to have forgotten completely the situation surrounding them, as he is now looking around it, poking, prodding, like a little bit of a bite at one point. He's also tasted it. Weird part only happened for a split second, but he opened his mouth and took your entire hand up to almost the elbow before he just immediately came back out and just like almost chapped his lips with his teeth. And it's weird because there was nothing when that happened. You felt nothing. It was an eerie, familiar feeling. Have you looked inside your when you tried reaching into your bag of holding?
Yeah. Huh.
It was oddly like that.
I've heard of these before. He's a clown.
Caitlin rolled for it. She's taking this as a good sign that this creature now feels comfortable around her. And she is going to try and
have its attention.
Yeah, she's gonna try and scratch it behind the ear and just go, "Oh, you're not a threat, are you?"
One more animal handling check with advantage because you did not flinch away from the freaky thing it was doing. Can't believe I was. Yeah, no, I rolled to see how he would react to this, and it was essentially just going to be messing with it until it tried to essentially take her entire arm to see if he could swallow it, but he couldn't because it was attached to a bigger person, so he just had to go back and let it go. That's the only reason he didn't bite down.
Yeah, and I rolled to see how she would react, and she just acted like it was normal.
This very much implies that if they were people-sized, they would try to swallow you whole.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But with advantage, that's a 17.
Yeah,
Leah
that worked.
Deeply freaked out.
You now have it.
Can I, while I'm scratching it with one hand, reach into my pouch with the other and pull out some berries to hand over to him?
You most certainly can.
Yeah, then I'm gonna slowly feed this guy. And Kaylin has the biggest smile on her face right now.
Alright, you are feeding one of them, and he is, first of all, he doesn't immediately eat the berries, he actually examines them, sniffs them, tests them, oddly enough. Like you've seen some people do when they find something, like a child, when they find something new that they're unsure if it's what it's even for. A toy, food, something bad, something good. It's all the normal tests. Oddly, it doesn't immediately go for food. It looks like it's trying to almost find a place on its body it can attach it. But it just keeps rolling off. So it just eventually then he goes for the tastes, sniff tests. Tries to poke it with its claw, see what happened. Eventually does figure out its food, and then does slowly begin to eat it.
Oh, good boy.
That thing just tried to deep throat your arm. You seem very relaxed about it.
Well, yeah, I figured he was hungry, so I gave him some food.
What is this creature's reaction to the blue, well, I guess maybe not blueberries, but the berries that she was getting?
Oddly enough, after the test and after poking one to see that it was in fact a berry, just ate it, swallowed it whole, no chewing, just down the hatch.
Yeah, see, hungry.
Hungry.
That's probably why they ate your food last time.
Yeah, and actually Leah will just kind of briefly lifting it up so that they can't this one that's trying to get in can't get into it. But, like, she's just gonna look over. How much of her rations does she have left now? Because she got another 20. I think that's gonna come back in a bit.
Yeah. Roll me 2d6.
2d6. 11.
So you're down portions.
11 portions, so I'm at 9 now.
You're at 9 at the beginning of the day. So you want to use some to get through the day, or do you want to go find something else? But you're at 11 now.
I think we were pretty early into the night, so.
Oh no, yeah. Technically, this is you haven't technically finished the long rest yet. So you'd go to you'd finish the long rest, wake up tomorrow morning, and you still have your solid 9.
Yeah. From the looks of it, he's already eaten his fill. But what are we doing with them now? What are the other two doing?
I don't think I had caught one when we left off.
You were trying to. The other one was still doing these small circles and spouting out that same bit of gibberish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I'll just be keeping an eye on him. They've eaten enough, which is precisely why we should not let them go.
Kaylin looks
Do
confused.
you want to keep them now? Is that what you want? To keep them now?
I certainly don't want to.
Doesn't seem like they're in a rush to leave. Being able to communicate with it, they did seem to be speaking some kind of language, but unclear what that was. I take it none of you recognize it.
No.
Silent, I want to try to cast Speak with Animals on it. I don't know if it'll work.
Go ahead and try. You cast it, and give me a quick wisdom. That's enough. As you innately cast this spell that you've used before, so that you better communicate with certain creatures, you notice it hasn't changed. But with that last bit, now that you're focusing on language, you notice that every time one of you has said something, the one specifically you're holding has tried its best underneath its breath to mimic it.
Oh, these creatures are smart. They're trying to communicate with us.
I don't think this is going to work, because I don't think this is how this works, but let me give it a try. Leah is going to kind of put a finger to her ear and to her earring, and I would like to try casting. I don't think this is how this works, but Leah's going to try this. She's going to try casting Message on the one that's kind of mimicking Kaylin. And she's going to ask... what is she going to ask? What are you? Who are you? And what are you doing in our camp?
You notice the creature in the arms that immediately stiffens for a second before it looks around. But you can also hear it beginning to mimic and repeat odd bit of sentences you've not heard before. It's very, very broken. It's trying its best to speak right now, but you could see it's definitely trying, but still looking around like in honest confusion. Just around, behind, it even just for a second hangs off your hands to look underneath.
How I mean, I don't know if we're able to make this make the intention of this out at all. If this would be a roll, but like, how close is this? Is this like a cat like meowing and it sounds kind of like English, or is this like somebody that knows like very very little bits of a language trying to speak in that language?
Like a parrot, like you're trying to teach a parrot to mimic you. It'll take a while to get there, but you can see that it's starting. It would take time, but it's starting. It begins to mimic. Whether it understands or knows what you're saying, or what the phrase it's repeating actually means, that is unknown.
Okay. Well, I guess that didn't really work the way I intended, but it was worth a shot. So, Kaylin, are you going to take care of these things?
She'll look around at all three of them. I can if they want me to, but I don't know if they want to go with us.
You be able to communicate to them that they need to leave us alone?
Just any
Kaylin
idea of what
will-
they may
Kaylin
want
will
other
look
than
at them in
food?
the eye and just go, if we go, you stay here. And she's doing like really bad hand gestures.
They give it once again gives you like that odd little look, but it is trying its best to mimic, and it's now adding the hand gestures now that you've begun to emphasize them as well.
That's a 4. I think he understands. I think they'll stay here.
Okay, well, whoever is on watch tonight, I guess, is it my turn next? How late is it into the night? Whoever's on watch, just at the very least keep an eye on them and make sure that they don't get into trouble. Don't eat our rations, Kaylin.
I'm not going to eat your rations.
Make sure they don't eat our rations.
Oh.
At least don't eat my rations. I assume, Shoni, I don't know if you have food on you, but I assume you don't.
No.
To them without your permission. Is that a deal so we can get our sleep and deal with this in the morning?
Kaylin nods her head, but is continuing to feed the one that's in her hand another berry.
At this point, Leah is going to she's going to like take off like her cloak. She's gonna wrap her bag up in it. Well, she's gonna she's just gonna wrap up her bag or bags in this cloak, and then she's going to like take a belt, and she's going to like tie this off with a belt. It's like, no,
No touchy.
do not get it, no touchy. And then she's gonna like
The only one
the
left
wall with like,
is the one in her hand. The other two are still. One is still freaking out. The other one is still at your feet, almost like an animal. Just eyes haven't gone off the bag.
okay, Leah's. I'm gonna roll for something for Leah. Oh, Leah's gonna like do this and kind of like sit up against the wall with kind of like it wrapped in her arms, and like she's gonna like try and like close her eyes, like shut it off. She's gonna like peek through, her eyes open a few times, and like looking at this thing. Like this thing is like big old puppy dog eyes looking at her like, I want food. Like, I assume.
Essentially, but you again remember glowing red eyes and like a void red mouth. As, with that as well, they still look like what they look like.
Leah is, after a little bit of time kind of contending this, trying to fight this off, she is going to take a big sigh and kind of undo the fastenments that she's made to her bag and pull out a ration, like just a bit of meat from her hunt today. And just kind of, with another sigh, kind of hold this out for this thing. I don't know what it's going to do. If it's going to take it or just going to like bite her hand off. I don't know, probably, hopefully not. But she's just going to hold it out for this thing and see what it does.
Let's find out. It actually does take it very slowly, and then just essentially watching your reaction to it, it is going to slowly start to devour in a way that just seems like it unhinges its jaw almost and opens its maw just to fit everything in at once, and it puts its own hands into its mouth, almost like it's putting something into a satchel before like its own hands come out.
As it like takes the piece of meat from her hands, she's just gonna kind of like, and that's it for tonight. No more.
Roll me an animal handling check with advantage.
With advantage, okay.
With advantage, you just gave it meat, so it's very, very attentive to you right now.
Ooh, natural 20 plus 3.
So it looks at you, and it almost, for a second, you can almost hear it mimicking what you said. Like, no, that's it for tonight, no more. You can almost see it like trying to do its best to mimic what you said and almost nod.
Leah gives it another nod and kind of refastens her bag, cloak, belt, kind of holding it in her arms, and she's gonna, unless kind of anybody else has anything they want to say or do, she'll start heading to bed again.
Yep. All's well.
Unless it's her watch, in which case she'll do the same thing and then stay up for her watch.
At this point, I think it would be about the point to switch locks.
Is it Caitlin's turn again?
I think Kaylin just had her turn.
Yeah, I think wait, no, was it Nishoni who was first or Kate?
I don't think Caitlin got a watch because I don't think you guys trusted her last time.
Understandably
this
so.
time or last time?
So I guess it was Nishoni, so Leah will go next.
Okay, Leah's next. It's roughly just before like 1 a.m., so get time to get some rest. You could roll me a quick perception check.
Perception. That is in 21.
21. And your watch passes without incident. The 3 little creatures that you do notice on occasion are just going around exploring the cave. You do notice, figure out that these guys had a few tricks up their sleeve themselves, as one of them is effortlessly walking on the ceiling and the walls. Another one is just going around in circles, kind of just pointing at things as they're talking back and forth. The last two are just pointing at things, and one's just mimicking stuff, with the other one occasionally bobbing their head up and down near possible assumption of yes or no, whether this is a game or they're trying to teach each other something. I'm not sure.
Into her watch, kind of, she'll like definitely again keep her watch and kind of observe the goings on of these things, making sure they're not getting into like anybody else's bags or stuff, not messing with anybody. They're just kind of walking around and observing at this point.
Nothing that you could see at this point that they've tried. One's just doing an odd bit of controlling itself, and the others are just going around almost like categorizing everything that's in the cave, yourselves included.
Interesting. Leah will take a moment, like a little chunk of time to sketch one of these things and kind of like note down what it looks like. Partially to pass the time, partially to just have a document of what these things look like that she could potentially show other people.
All right, and your watch passes without incident.
All right, Leah will regrettably wake up Kaylin.
Regrettably.
Reluctantly.
You can almost see her in that meditative sleep state, just waiting for this to happen. Smiles on her face.
I'm coming for you. And I guess Leah, she can just do the elvish trance that I think you gave her because she trained it. So she'll
And indeed. And she can take that in whichever form she likes, whether she's going to pretend to be asleep or just straight up do the, Indian style, just sit and eyes open and just go, 1,000-yard stare first.
Yeah. She's going to like back to the wall, kind of legs unfurled kind of in front of her, just kind of you know what? I think Leah does like sleep with her eyes open, but they're glazed over.
Creepy.
You've seen dead people do that. What the hell?
Yeah, wait, this isn't right.
Leah, did you die? Do you die for 4 hours every night?
Caitlin doesn't even do that. She at least pretends to be asleep.
So here's the thing. Every day I die for a few years, and then I come back to life. It's a weird thing about being, like an immortal. Like some phoenixes just go up in flame. I just stop working, and then I turn back on.
Interesting. Scribbles furiously in her notebook.
That would be a fun quirk for like a Dampier-esque character. It's like, I my heart stops beating for a good couple hours. My patron starts me back up again in the morning. So that's nice.
I literally die because I have to go and report into like my undead boss, and then when my report is done, it kind of just kicks me out back into the body.
But yeah, start my shift. Okay.
But no, yeah, I think Leah looking like she's awake is intentional. Let's go.
Yeah, anything fun or exciting happening?
Cool stuff.
I have to double check something in the book. Giants and pixies, perception. Just to double check. Facts.
Are you unironically looking at the monster manual right now?
No, this is so I've got this thing of notes, books. It's sort of a monster's manual, but not like the official one. It's just got a bunch of random stuff. Just a random bunch of stuff to pull from, just that I've collected. Okay. And like I jot things down, like what's possibly in the current area that you might run into, and then there's the stuff in here that I know is nowhere near you.
21 for my perception check.
Excellent. You're definitely not going to see like a fey mammoth just, roaming through the forest before it, magically vanishes into the wood.
Did you want a perception check from everybody?
Oh no, just her. She's
Okay.
her watch. Like, you guys sound asleep, getting your energy back, getting that magic back.
I mean,
with
if Leah's
that-
in a trance, maybe disadvantage. No, that's up to you. No.
no, the way this trance works is you'll remember everything that happened, but you won't be able to like wake yourself up to do anything. Someone has to snap you out of it.
Okay.
So you get like a perfect CCTV footage of everything happening like in front of you and slightly around you, but someone's got to snap you out of it if you want to do something.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, 21.
Wow, no, I rolled for that, like perfect. Nothing. This day is awfully peaceful. Like there are sounds stirring and wonders of nature. Like you're staying in the cave, correct? So
Yeah, they all got mad at me last time, so I'll stay in the cave.
then just the cave, and then just an odd little whooshing sound that you're not sure of, and like a sound of some very large creatures just moving around and past the cave. No entrance, maybe a few, dozen feet out. Maybe the sound of some odd buzzing and some twinkling, but nothing that screams out danger immediately, and it just depends. Your little scavenger buddies, they all immediately dart out when they heard that first big sound, and they come back covered in moss. And they're essentially just messing and playing with it. Like one with a beard, one with an afro, one
Oh, cute!
yes, like
Aww.
using it like a cape almost.
That's
They're
so
not entirely
cute!
sure what happened, but these guys they're back and they are filthy. But yeah, no, 2 hours pass by relatively uneventful for you. And the rest of your party finish your rest as the dawn does begin to crest over the horizon, and the day begins, and it is yours.
The
All
day
right.
is up.
Onward and upward?
Yeah.
These little guys are just gonna follow like the 7 dwarves. Hi ho, hi ho.
Oh, cute.
To Kaylin, did our gal we go. Do, 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 do.
Yeah. Like I will be curious. Like as we start walking, do we still see them? Do we see them following behind us?
Actually, as soon as you guys begin to leave, and as soon as the sun finally begins to enter the cave, because with it you could see it like slowly lifting over, but the sun hadn't reached the where you guys were camped at. But as you guys begin to leave and the sun slowly begins to come out, these guys all immediately start freaking out. Not
no.
in like a it's gonna hurt way. It's like they just realized what time it is.
They're
And then,
literally
like,
gremlins, aren't they?
Yeah, one of them is literally like once again producing to just scream out until they get it's almost a mini Three Stooges scene before like one of them just slaps the other two to get their minds somewhat back in order, and then the weirdest thing happens. They grab that little odd mesh thing that happened, little cloak that they were wearing, and they do a weird little game of just you could think it's boulder partner shears, rock paper scissors, something along those lines, where like they each hold up like a weird little claw, and then only one of them glows, and the one that glows drapes themselves over the cape. Then they open their maw wide open, like the size of their entire bodies, and the other two run inside.
Huh.
And it's at that point that you can see that when it did open its mouth, it began to swim and pulse, and these guys just ran inside, and as soon as they did, its jaw closed, and then it began to slowly convulse and morph, and then in its place, This guy is what becomes
Oh,
him after he finishes his odd little panic attack as soon as it's slowed.
Can you guys hear him?
No, he's roboting.
Roboting.
Okay.
Let's give it a second to see if this loads.
I heard that pretty clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a second to see if it loads. Maybe it's because it's loading the image, taking resources from the audio.
Yeah, that might be.
I see the photo.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah, no, that thing looks like it could punch us pretty good.
Oh, how big?
No, it's now back to the size it was. It is now roughly the size of a half.
Wow.
Wait. The size of a halfling or the size of a house?
I heard half.
Halfling, not
Okay.
the size of a house.
I thought it was halfling, but it cut out in a bit of a weird way, and wait a minute.
It's a halfling. But no, it does definitely see you guys all, and it does give you a small little nod and greeting as it puts its tattered little hood up that it made from its makeshift little rag cloak. And it does immediately bolt deeper into the...
Oh, that was odd.
They should be okay on their own, right?
Let's keep an eye out for them tonight. They were able to find us tomorrow night. They were able to find us today after presumably finding us yesterday, so they may find us again.
Kaylin nods.
Yeah, let's
And-
definitely check in and ask about that.
She's gonna make a mental note to try and salvage extra berries and stuff on their trek today.
All right.
We will keep an
Right
eye
then,
out
who
for an opportunity.
Who wants to roll me that survival check? And what pace are you guys going if you're going to slow down to try and get some game and collect berries and stuff?
I can roll
I can roll. I don't know what your bonus is. I get a +6.
for survival. I have a +6 as well.
All right. Do you want to roll?
Sure.
I was about to make the hand motion for rock paper scissors, but that's not very easy on a
On a computer.
press computer.
That's a
Crossbones.
24.
Oh, I guess you're rolling. And I assume a slightly slower pace if we're both going to be kind of hunting and gathering a bit extra.
Yeah, no, if you're going to stop to... If you're going to gather up and then also hunt, you're going to break it down and essentially harvest and properly prepare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, and that's survival checks from each of you separately. I'd say you both get advantage of this because it's something you've done before, had to do before in the wilds and such.
All right.
Ooh, thank God, because first roll was a 5.
I rolled a 2 on the first roll without any bonuses. With the bonuses,
Second roll, unnatural 20.
15.
Ba-ba-ba-bum. 15's good. With that, you're able to catch a few rabbits. Definitely easier to skin, break down, and prep for a meal for today, or if you'd like to save it and add to your rations, so possible. With the Deadly 20, you're able to find an assortment of berries as well as a few trees bearing very delicious looking fruit.
Ooh, delicious.
And they're not poison, right?
That'll be another check.
We'll
as
find out.
I'm assuming she's only picking things she's eaten before and survived.
Yeah.
But that's her prerogative.
I mean, are there any that just look extra delicious that she hasn't seen before? Because she might try one.
There's a weird heart-shaped fruit with a bunch of squiggly lines on it.
Ooh.
The only one of its kind on a tree, very top of a cliff.
To get it or not to get it?
I'm sure that'll be
I'm
fine.
sure it's fine. It'll taste great and won't do anything screwy.
Listen, nothing bad has happened to her yet.
Were you describing a devil fruit?
I may or may not have been described. You know, there's actual stats for those, like how to, if you want to actually make them a thing.
And if we see that, can I just like walk up the cliff and grab it? Probably difficult terrain.
You could definitely try.
Do we actually see a fruit like that?
No, I am picking only fruit that I
You don't.
am familiar
but
with. Oh wait,
your
do I
friend
actually see?
You're only picking fruit you're familiar with.
I am only picking fruit I'm familiar with.
50,
So anything else really not on the radar.
Godlike powers or you fucking explode.
I mean,
Pick your poison.
I mean, you know, who knows? Is this an original or is this Smile?
nothing bad has happened to her yet.
Nothing bad has ever happened.
Okay, here's my
Kaylin.
thing.
No consequences.
I would actually allow this in the form of Zoans because that's just lycanthropy.
Neat.
And then the other ones are just congratulations, you've somehow gained path into sorcery because that's just a version of a heritage.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, fair.
Does that mean extra levels? Or?
It depends on how you get and how versed you are in such things. Because just because you have access doesn't mean you're at full power.
Actually, speaking of which, just to check, are we still level 5? I think Caleb got it.
Last time, yeah, you guys are still level 5. And then a few things. Once one or two little things more are done for the little milestone I had set up. We'll see what happens.
Alright. For the rabbits that we hunted, I'll make that, I'll share that with the three of us, between the three of us, for like.
Would you like to make that a meal for today? Because I rolled, you had that's essentially 4 portions of rations that you can each essentially have one to have for the day, and you'd have a spare one to add to your reserves.
Alright. I think that makes sense. That way we all get fed.
So you're all fed for the day, and you've got an extra portion of rations.
Okay. And then any pelts or anything else?
You do. Actually, you can actually add, if you'd like, 3 rabbit pelts.
Okay.
And you can save these because there's actually pretty decent trade with these if you collect enough of them or if they're good enough quality. And actually, roll me a quick survival just to see how well you able to do this.
Okay. Let's see. With survival, that's a 13.
They're alright. There are a few places where it's a little messy on the cut, but you more or less got the health intact.
Okay. What adjective would you like me to note down on here for the quality of the rep?
Good condition.
Good condition? Okay. Will do. Alright, that is done.
Alright, and you're closing in. Look like maybe 1 or 2 more days travel before you think you're going to reach the village and Shoni. So you let them know that as well. You guys are getting close.
Cool.
Okay. And are we on a we're on a trail now, right? Following a trail.
Yes, you have officially found the trails used by the natives on designated.
Okay. Nice. So should we go over anything before we get there? Anything we should take care of? Just goals, objectives, do's and don'ts.
I think we did that last session.
I think
a little bit.
We did a little bit of that. I don't think we had ironed everything out. Like any protocols or formal ceremonies or whatnot. And this is also, we can also ask the DM if there's like anything that you guys would know that would be. Maybe we
Hey,
should bring
Mr.
up.
DM, is there anything that I'm forgetting about?
I think you more or less covered it last time. You're bringing one fellow native to the village. You're filling one that is very much an outsider, and they have not been received well. You yourself also have not been given leave to leave the village, and you're returning back. So probably going to have that. So be ready for. It's going to be an uphill battle. Essentially, it's the bottom line for anything you're trying to get.
Okay.
Any procedure that may help with like, it's like, hey, this is a newcomer, but like, hey, don't kill them.
Nope, that was it. That was the procedure.
All right.
More or less, they're usually introduced into the village. Similar to that, but usually not brought directly into the village. They're more or less waiting outside, usually a smaller camp, before they're brought in. Usually, there's a small little meeting with the either chief and or the elders, just to let everyone know that, hey, we're bringing in a new person, so don't freak out if there's a new face.
Yeah, so don't go marching in. Let them kind of ease people.
Yeah, no,
into it.
that is an immediate way to get some aggression on you guys.
Okay.
Also, patrolling guards around the area, usually not too far out, to patrol around, or if there are any hunting parties gone out to get some of the usual scavenging, mining, depending on what's happening during the time you arrive. Also, you are on the native trails, so there is also a chance you might come across a traveling merchant from one of the other villages.
Okay. Somebody that's maybe not welcomed into the society, but stays on the outside and kind of trades with them.
No, like they're an actual villager.
Oh, okay. Traveling merchant from the tribes. That is kind of coming and going. Okay. Leah would check in probably around this time. It's like, I guess while we're killing time on the road, maybe could I get a few pointers on the language or languages, so I can maybe keep up even a little bit, just in case.
Of course.
Which I would say probably something that may be going through rolls, but I think he just left, so. I'd say, let's roleplay stuff, but I don't think you guys know this language yourself. You the players.
Really?
What?
Are you
I'm
sure? Little do you know, I made an entire dictionary.
Okay, Tolkien.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's right. You don't like Lord of the Rings. You heathen.
Huh?
Heresy.
Huh?
Why are you dry heaving?
The mention of Lord of the
consider-
Rings.
You
Makes
hate
me
it
nauseous.
that much?
No,
Wow.
I honestly don't care about it. The fans, though, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't care about the Lord of the Rings, but you guys. I'm kidding. I know that's not what you mean.
No, that was what I meant, but jokingly. Jokingly.
Roll back, roll back.
Ah.
Alright, Sisyphus, roll that boulder up the hill.
So, change the subject. How was your day?
No. I'm doing alright today.
Ah.
Fun stuff. He will
Fun
convert
stuff.
you yet.
Hey, sorry, back. Had to fix something, and my reward was bacon.
Ooh, delicious.
Ah,
Nice.
Bacon. Very nice, very nice. Can I have some?
I mean, you can, but it'd be a hell of a trip to get this bacon. But I can't say it wouldn't be worth it.
I'll just swing by next time I'm out there. Just save a piece for me.
Not a problem.
That would. I don't think we have any plans anytime soon, and I can only imagine what like a year-old piece of bacon would look like.
Delicious.
I could freeze dry it, like it'd be fine. It'd just be very dry jerky at the end.
Astronaut
Yum.
bacon. That actually, I would be interested to see how that would come out.
I'd then also make you some fresh bacon just so you can compare the two. So they're both good, but one is just better.
And it's not the one you'd expect. No, it's probably
It's not.
it's the fresh one. That was.
Probably. But yeah, you guys, you are indeed able to teach him a few words, if you'd like, with the time you have left, in, you're more or less using Druidic as the native language of the natives.
Okay. Should we do like some checks of some kind to kind of see how well? Obviously, not gonna.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna learn the language, but you might be able to get a few, few phrases down before. If there are any specific phrases you'd like to try, and
we come in peace.
hello, goodbye, yes, no,
Hello, thank
how
you.
I'm
Where-
hurt.
Where's the bathroom?
Onde
as much as
está la biblioteca?
What time is happy hour?
As much as I'd love to get into like some of the juicy stuff so that she can eavesdrop, probably it would be best fairly logical to start with like the basics of like, hello, goodbye.
Mhm.
Any like
Maybe the word for
How do you
prisoner.
portray the word unarmed?
Unarmed is a good one.
Kill her is a good one.
Peace.
Prisoner.
Okay, specify. Peace, not pieces.
Peace. Peace.
Probably pieces would also be handy as well.
No, Leah, no. I mean no harm. I'm sorry. I come in peace.
I'm going to chop you into pieces.
Not a threat, maybe.
You want to
Not a threat. A good one.
That would be a good one. I come in peace. Yeah, something along those lines.
Probably help to declare yourself one of the factions, because they're really only discernible to the natives by faction. So that's something you guys also know.
Actually, that would be a good idea as well. Kind of what they call all the different factions. Kind of.
Yeah.
Like if they have, like, maybe they use like the common words for some of them.
No, because all of them have a specific sigil, which is almost on all of their clothing for anyone official, anyone from there. So that's how they essentially started to differentiate for each of the different settlers. Like going down the list real quickly, the congregation of merchants, or where you guys all went through from New Serene, is essentially just a giant arrow head, just a giant arc ace, like just filigree around it, like small quiver, I guess would be the way to say it.
All right. That'd be the
Then
kind of-
obviously theocracy is usually a white or red sun, just the sun, specific pattern.
Red sun.
Yeah, but usually it's white or red depending on the level of the color. Like if you're going on a red sun, you're already in the upper echelon of the church. Anyone lower is usually going with the white sun.
Okay.
And of course, the Norts will have a star with a bow on the bottom and 2 wreaths on the side.
Okay.
If you were a chance to meet Coinsguard, just 2 crossed keys, old school keys, essentially in a cross shape. And then lastly, the golden lions standing on time legs, going to the left, in that menacing upper right 4, golden, and not the best one to ever use because these guys are actively at war with us, specifically on this side of the island.
Specifically, I believe
Because this side has their settlement, and that's where most of the skirmishes have been.
Yeah. Let me double check. I'm gonna try and find, because I know I had messaged something. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think she's gonna consider who she wants to, I guess, represent in this sense, because she's not directly representing anybody at the moment. But it's also like, who does she want to kind of go correlating, have her name correlated with?
Essentially, yes. And once you pick one, it's a difficult thing to change because the way they're correlating this is their quote-unquote tribe, because they don't really have they don't like to complicate things with like, this is just like the island and nation we serve. Like that's their symbol. That's just their tribe. And there are currently 3 tribes making cities and 1 that's just of the ocean.
Yeah. Trying to find, where was the? I'm looking through our channels, like, where would we make that note about the 5th company and who she was working with? Like, which country she was, like, officially a part of? So I know we had discussed it before.
I don't remember if it was the Theocracy or the Olo. I don't know. Because I know it wasn't the Bridge Alliance, I don't think. I think, like, were we against the Bridge Alliance?
Maybe?
I look back on those notes.
Yeah, I'm searching through them because we had kind of gone back and forth a couple of times. I thought I had sent something like more definitive.
I think we might have like agreed on it verbally and then just never wrote it down. That's unfortunate.
That may be
Always
it.
best to write it down. Always best.
Yeah.
There's
Definitely
today's
doing
lesson,
that.
folks. Always write it down.
Always write it down. See those. See that. She'll. Here, we can move on to kind of like the evening and kind of move on to continue traveling. I'm gonna keep looking at this road. She also, I don't know if like, is there like some way, because she doesn't have like a medallion or anything that she can like just use to kind of like mark herself as one of these tribes? Would it be something that she could create or work with them to create something? Would she need to have this
What do you mean?
preemptively? with the symbols that they're using. Can identify, or does I guess
That's usually a piece of clothing with something like that on it, like an emblem. So it's
Okay.
not necessarily something like you'd make like to show like a badge or anything. It's more like a piece of clothing we usually have it on it. With
Time to
bureaucracy, it's
tan a
usually
deer hide and do some painting.
Okay.
that looked
DIY
weird because
time.
no other person ever
I mean-
uses like the.
I do have a deer hide already, so we can do something.
Exactly.
Something relative. I mean, I guess we'll see what we find that would work.
It definitely take a bit to tan that properly and make it pliable leather, unless you just want to make a deer hide with a symbol on it.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll help you make it happen.
Sorry, I'm searching for this because this is gonna bug me as well.
May very well be lost to the annals of history.
Maybe. Did
Maybe
we
she
delete
doesn't. She's trying to find these memories from us.
Maybe she lost her memories of that. Like they took it from her, like when she left. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go insane. You guys can move on. I'm gonna keep on looking for this, but keep going.
So continue on the journey.
Anything you two, continue on the journey. Anything you two would like to do as you close up this day? Some good gathering, some good hunting, decent meal, just basic traveling, and actually, somebody roll me a quick D100.
You said D100.
D100. This is a high chance probability.
All right.
66.
That feels appropriate.
And as you guys finishing up the day, you guys see coming towards you.
Asmodeus and I'm just kidding.
Now, oddly enough, like with an odd bit of a wheelbarrow, with a few odds and ends that are draped and properly covered, but a few things are noticeable from it. You two recognize this as a trader. That does travels from village to village, usually selling, buying, or trading in items, information, weapons, really just about anything.
Ooh.
Nice.
And you see them coming forward, and the person at the helm seems to be well draped and is roughly, as you can see him roughly on the horizon coming towards you. So it's roughly 300, maybe less so feet, but he is making their way towards you.
Oh, okay. Just rushing in.
Initially, we'll follow after her, cautious, but intrigued.
Leah will follow as well.
Yeah, Kaylin will approach and kind of wave them down.
Does the trader react to us waving?
He has no reactions whatsoever.
Trader died.
Sorry, I was looking through because I had the art for him yesterday, and now I'm looking through the thing because I didn't like sort it out properly. And I have to look through the entire thing again, which is a larger Rolodex than I'd like to admit. Yeah, no, he comes towards you guys. You guys are rushing towards you, cutting off the thing. Anything anyone else doing? Just running towards him, right?
Yeah.
I'm not running towards them, I'm just kind of following behind them.
I'm running towards him.
Gosh,
That's right.
we don't want to antagonize him.
Kaylin doesn't see
Why not?
herself as threatening.
That's true.
I'm entirely non-threatening as she runs directly towards this guy in full sprint.
Hello!
Hail and well met.
Well, eventually you guys do close in the gap, and after this person does acknowledge you all and very cautiously makes her way to one side of the road and waits to see if you're going to pass simply with a nod and a tilt or actually stop the conversation, and she has fully stopped her advance. She's waiting for you guys to advance.
You know, Kaylin's
Okay.
approaching.
All right,
Hello.
as you do, you see this person. So getting a bit closer, you can now see beneath the cloak, as they do see you as are able to recognize you as a native. You see they seem almost a bit more at ease as they wait for you to finish approaching. How ahead of you are you from everyone else?
I guess it depends on if everyone else is also rushing.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
Rushing
then
after you, but
you definitely hit there first, and you're definitely the first to see the person.
Kaylin's like an excited child. Ooh. Anything
Yeah, more than
interesting
likely.
for sale today?
And as you approach and you say that, this person does, in fact, remove her hood and also open up their cloak a bit, and you see released from the top horns, and also a bit of brown auburnish hair that does begin to change in color as it gets lower, roughly past her shoulders. You see her wearing an odd kind of mix of both native cloak and tunic with a lot of those around it, but a few of her other clothing is also seems to be of the settlers. I'm just going to pop this into NPCs.
Which I had sent a few things there, so. And pinned them this time.
For importance, this person does in fact greet
she's
you
so
with a smile. As now that she does see you, she does open up her cloak a bit and put it back on the wagon. Then just does wait for you to approach and see what you ask.
Why, hello.
question, because I do want to ask. Do I know this person?
Question: do I know this person?
Does anyone know anybody?
Shoni, do you know this person?
No, not as far as I know.
Dun-dun-dun. None of you know this person. As far as you know, unless they were like really good at disguising a lot of features you think you would have noticed.
Weird. Did you do something with your hair? Could have
Yeah,
sworn it was different. I'm just kidding.
I like the two-tone.
Kaylin will approach. Once again, very much kid in a candy store energy.
Please interest has peaked a bit.
Hi. I see you're carrying around a lot of things. Do you? My name's Kaylin, and we're traveling right now. And she'll kind of point to the other two who are a bit farther behind. Do you have anything for trade?
I have a few things for trade, young one. Tell me, what are you in the market?
Well, I'm not in the market for a specific thing, but I always like to hear the stories behind where these items are acquired from. If you have time, I like stories.
Well, I was going to travel for a bit more today, but I have a feeling, judging by from where you were going and where I was headed, we're likely going to part ways. Don't know unless you're willing to lose a bit of your own travels to hear mine.
It may be best, Kaylin, for us to get our business done and go about our ways. For now, at least.
Kaylin will
Who
open
are
her
you?
mouth and then close it and look very upset.
Pray tell, what do you sell? Goods, magical items? Do you have a business that you run somewhere?
This is Leah. She's traveling with us. She's nice sometimes.
Hello.
Oh, I thought you were introducing her
nice
to me, not me to her.
sometimes. Oh yeah, no,
Leo,
she's
like-
introducing
Sometimes.
you to her.
Leo like cock an eyebrow at her, like, sometimes. I'm nice all the
You are
time.
nice. Sometimes it is a pleasure to meet you.
Leah will just kind of extend her hand to shake it if she is kind of reaching to extend her hand to shake as well, and then just kind of like give a little bit of a glare at Kaylin. It's like,
She does not extend a hand. She just gives you a glimpse nod before she introduces herself, currently as Iselda.
nice to meet you, Iselda.
I'm sorry, Iselda with an E.
Iselda, not Iselda.
It's a weird kind of pronunciation of E-S-E-D-L.
Now I'm thinking of Nutella, and she does
I
have the right color.
don't think that's.
And
That is
oddly enough,
I don't think
In
does
her
she spell
cart.
Nutella?
God, there's just damn it. I'm so used to
cart
falling into like
full of
just characters to making a crude joke about that.
man. If she did sell Nutella, Caitlin will trade everything that she has for that. Her sweet tooth will run wild.
My life savings? Take it. I don't need that shit.
Nutella, though.
My entire life is Nutella.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is not. No.
Oh.
This specific character would be. No, she had something like that.
No, I do not so.
No one has invented this yet.
Yet.
But when they
A
do,
fruit
oh
of my
boy.
own making.
Does peanut
This is a
butter exist in this
concoction.
world?
It does, actually.
Very nice.
But yeah,
Anyway,
back to conversation. Yeah, and Ciselda, and she waits for the third member of your party because somehow you got here first.
I was just assuming that we were walking together and we weren't that far behind.
No
Kaylin
idea,
was like
honestly.
speed rushing, and
I
so
sure was.
we're catching up.
One went running. I assume the two of you behind her were just casually walking, or was someone
Yeah,
like running or jogging?
they're slowly but surely getting used to Kaylin's antics, which is concerning.
Kaylin is a golden retriever, if like a person personified golden retriever.
Yeah.
Okay. Golden retrievers, best of friends, but they will play with anyone else.
Ooh, shiny. I'm gonna go run over there.
Yeah, so the
And-
easily distracted, not the best kind of like put on guard, because that is just person like in a mask with a sack is just like, hey buddy, I brought you some, a steak or something, some burger meat. You stay here, I'm gonna go and check out the house.
Okay,
Here's
thanks,
a
friend.
phone in exchange for my entry into the house.
I got a new
Yeah,
friend.
I go in there, I come back out with a full sack, and I found the dog treats. Here you go, have the whole bag.
Yeah. Best day
The
ever.
wild boy.
You just
God,
come
that
back, just
100%
the happiest to be
describes
because they
Kaylin.
made a new friend in the house is insane. Yeah, back to our regularly scheduled chaos.
And this is Nashoni.
Hello.
She's nice most of the time.
Kaylin nods her head.
I guess.
Nice.
So far,
merchant.
more than Leah. But it's still early to tell.
More than Leah, but less than you.
She'll shrug. I think I'm nice, but I don't think that's for me to judge.
That is true.
She's nice at her own detriment at times, it seems.
Does give you both just a small cocked eyebrow, which is like the hint of a smile.
Anyway, what brings you out this far? Do you have items that you're transporting? Are you running a store in one of the cities? What are you selling?
Many questions, this one. And she looks back to
Like to stay informed.
informed is all good, but the way the information is gathered also says a lot.
I take it you keep your ear to the ground as well, then.
I try my best to avoid faded situations.
You
No, for the most
broke
part,
up a little
I am
there.
a trader.
Oop, yeah.
Hello, hear me?
Yep.
We're good.
Okay.
Yes, I am a traveling trader for the moment, researcher primarily on temporary hiatus, as it were, as I require funds to continue. But for the time being, I'm exploring as I can. But no, things have gone amicably for me, I think. My wares, well, normally, depending on the clientele, will sometimes grab attention. Basics, standard things I could make a bit of coin for, from the colonies to the natives. Those things are getting a bit heated on this side because of the recent skirmish.
Conflict, yes. Moving to greener pastures then?
Now continuing my normal cycle, the few villages I'm welcoming, as well as my route with the settlements. See if I have met my goal to continue research.
Leah would like to take a moment to kind of look her over. Does she have any of the emblems for any of the kind of nations or city-states on the island? The
Give me a quick,
foreign
you
tribes?
can use your passive, or you can try and roll to essentially look.
For perception or investigation?
This would be your choice, as perception is just you giving her a quick once-over. Investigation would be like you actually looking around and physically like moving around her stuff to see if you can find an emblem.
I'll do the once-over with perception, and that is a passive of 19.
And with that, it's very well hidden, but with a bit of poking and prodding, you are actually able to see 3 different sigils on some of her clothing. Most of which, 2 of which are covered with a bit of well-folded fabric that seem to be slightly covering it, but not all the way, so it looks like. But the one not outwardly displaying, but more or less showing, is currently the white sign. However, one of the others you can see that is slightly covered looks to have like a small patch of gold, as the last one seems to be there it is. Seems to be covered also in white, but you can make out the spots.
Okay. So yeah, she's kind of representing whoever serves her best, I guess.
It's a definite possibility, but for the most part, not a lot. This person, difficult to read, but for the most part, seem to be.
Okay. All right. Well, you're a trader then. What goods do you trade, if I may ask?
The standard assortment of goods, usually what is not commonly found among the natives of the tribe, with a few amenities that I've been able to acquire and trade from natives. Gold not always used, but sometimes bought seems to work. Seems to get them to open up with benefits. Those in those workers, usually those who are themselves the local. Craftsmen as well, and a few of the hunters, always happy to find a new tool that might improve.
Interesting. Yeah. Kaylin?
Does she have any like shiny, pretty things hanging?
Everything in
from
the
her
cart
cart?
seems to be covered, so you're not entirely sure. There are many sacks and a few boxes. This cart is roughly 6 by 4 feet, with like a small little fence to keep things from spilling out. It is not being pulled, but there's something like a harness or so for something to be attached, but nothing there.
So, like, there's a harness that's just kind of like levitating in the air, or there's just like a harness
There are
that's
4
not being
wheels, but there's just a harness that's not attached to it. There's the sticks and where you see like anything else could be attached, but nothing's there.
used? Okay. Interesting enchantment you have on your cart. I'm sure.
That was an old project.
Mentioned coming here to research. Anything in particular of note?
Just a bit of this and that. This island is full of curiosities.
It seems to be. Leah flashes back to this morning, seeing the
Yeah.
2 creatures being swallowed by the third.
Do I go for practical or do I go for whimsical?
Whimsical.
That's very much on
Caleb.
you, however you'd like.
What would you say is the most interesting thing that you have?
And if you're not looking for amenities or the basics of those who wish to travel, survive, just make life easier, there are a few oddities I've come across with my own travels with both natives, wildlife, and new settlers are just a bit weird. Anything in particular, or just something that just seems like it'd be out of place on your person?
The second one. The out of place one.
Kaylin loves being out of place. I don't know if she would phrase it that way. Loves the whimsical. The odd and entertaining.
See, this is one of those times when Leah is not nice.
Sorry, this is partially out of character.
I know it.
What else? Fair enough. Leah is not a people person.
It's okay. Kaylin is enough of a people person for both of them.
Yep.
Something I know would definitely look out of place, but I don't know if you have the. And she's just looking almost at like you physically, right? Proportions. I'd be able to find you something. I mean, just specifically decoration or something with a use. Anything in particular you believe you need?
I know, just imagining her pulling out, like, here's a full set of plate armor.
Yes!
It's like, here's the thing.
I can't wear it,
That,
but yes.
but I mean, I could give you something. I'm not sure what use you'd get out of it, but it'd definitely bring attention.
Whatever is the most interesting.
Alright, I'm gonna just a few things, I think, and just let you take a pick. And she goes back into her cart and she almost like unfurls a few things, moves some things about. She almost like jumps into it, and it's an odd sounding. You ever heard of a ball pit being shifted around?
Yes.
It's that, but then it sounds like moving glass bottles, but then it sounds like shifting like animals in boxes before she begins to pull out a massive pole arm that slowly glades out. A massive glade. That is, in fact, it's roughly like 9 feet. So this thing does tower above her by a good few feet. Very big. Very big. And then she kind of just sticks it into the ground. It is very, very well decorated. The blade itself the tip. It looked like it might have been made of some oddly torn things until you take a closer look. Roll me a quick perception check, those who wish. Better look at this.
Perception. $16 plus 7, so 23.
23, anyone else?
Oh, should we all be rolling?
Those who wish.
Aha.
Hmm.
20 or 14, sorry.
I actually also got a 14.
Well, both of you can definitely see it's strange, it's big, but actually, only a quick history.
From whom?
Everyone or?
Everyone but Michelle.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Quick history. Oh, 18.
Quick memory.
5.
Oh, you are just your original perception. You're not able to click where you think you something triggered a bit of a memory, but you still want to keep calling you.
Calling me who?
I just want to call you V. Dead or not, that's still what I feel.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah, okay. Well, Leah, you yourself, like you can see this glaive and it looks a bit interesting until like you start, like a quick shadow just overlaps it for a second and you realize this thing is scaled to like the size of a guardian, not a person.
That's an interesting weapon you have there. Where
Yeah.
did you get that?
Steven, with your original perception, just so you notice, this thing is carved out of, looks like almost stone, the handle itself, and there are woven feathers on the guard side, the bottom that's essentially just massive kind of almost like a spear point, but at the top. So you notice, it took a while to figure it out, but those, what makes up this weapon's edge isn't carved, sharpened stone or steel. Those are feathers.
Oh. That's nifty.
But they seem rigid still, almost completely solid. But you can just slightly feel it as wind passes through them and they gently move. They're there.
Oh.
And then they essentially grab it out of the ground immediately, give it a quick spin in their hand, and there's a small current of wind that suddenly just starts to pick up immediately. After about 3 spins before they essentially do a massive wide-spreading arc, and you see a massive wind gale slash forward and cleave about 30 feet in front of you, leave completely free of any foliage, and there are 2 trees that were in front of it.
Oh.
Oh.
Keelan's eyes kind of sparkle. Where did you get... What is it? This thing is amazing.
I have not been lied to. This belonged to a very, very powerful warrior that underwent a ritual a very long time ago, taking his weapon with him. As all things, it fell during, well, its time. Its weapon was retrieved and has made its way through second wingers looking for its next move. Proper You should say master, but this thing never seems to listen to anyone.
Interesting.
And she picks it back up and just slams it back into the ground.
As we're listening to this, can I roll insight to see if this is BS or if this is
You may.
to be a truthin? Let's see. That is 13.
Difficult to read in person. Oddly, not as many expressions as you'd like, but from what she says and from what you've seen of Guardians, that this weapon could definitely fit that bill. And it could honestly be either truth or lie. No reason to believe she's not. No
Vague enough.
No real way to confirm.
Do not really know.
And, part of your own nature wants to verify everything. So she could
yeah.
be very well telling you the truth, but without, the hard, other facts, more contributors, there's no real way to tell for sure.
Is this something you'd be interested in, Kaylin?
Well, I don't know about me. I don't think I could wield that, but I think I might know someone that might be interested in it. And she's immediately thinking back to the guardian she bonded with.
Aww.
I have a few other things, and she pulls out this oddly largely folded. I think she's pulling out almost like a pile of leaves for a second until she kind of unfurls it and feels like this is a woven, almost quilted cloak of just. It's almost like the seasons themselves, getting fresh with autumn, then the bristled leaves of winter, newer things of spring, and then summer at the bottom. It's an odd bit of tapestry woven into this strange bit of cloak. Seems to pulled out.
I will say,
and then
guys.
on the other side. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I will say, guys, I gotta get up early tomorrow morning. I gotta head up north to go to a funeral. So, I should hop off here. If you guys want to continue with checking out the wagon, go ahead.
Okay.
It's cool.
Sorry.
No, I hope you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Good night.
Doing
Thank
all
you.
right.
Yeah, it's all's well. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, bye, you little turd.
All right.
Have a good
All
night,
right.
Heidi.
Okay. Good night.
Have a nice
See
night.
ya.
Good night, Heidi.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh. Well, I'll give you guys the last weapon, and then I don't know if you guys want to end it off there, and we can discuss later.
Yeah, and we can definitely do a few more things and kind of pick up, continuing on with this kind of interaction.
She pulls out what looks like an oddly thin and almost 3-foot long ice hole, which is an odd kind of thing just to have not be melting, but it is giving off an odd bit of chill before she essentially looks like she breaks it across the side of her cart. And then she holds up the end at her, and it's roughly and a half. It's still intact before you see the pieces of it that oddly broke off into almost small star-like jagged edges as they all seem to follow the path made before them, as she then essentially makes a loud whipping sound as this bit of ice reveals actually a large jagged path of frost as it essentially takes this thing that she does that you know is called Cold Snap, if she's been informed right, is essentially an enchanted whip made entirely of ice.
Okay.
Definitely showy. Certainly, it's always an interesting way to entertain is if you're properly trained and well controlled. And she just immediately throw it to wrap it around nearby rock. It does solidify, as it does give a pulse, a glow before it does shatter. Or she does another gesture and it seems to solidify again into the 3-foot ice tube.
Ooh.
So it's like kind of goes between is it like a rod or an icicle and then kind of a whip?
Kind of like a rod, an icicle, until you essentially crack it against something and the pieces become essentially the whip.
Okay. And then you can kind of reform it back into
an icicle.
Okay.
And then she does give you the name she was given, if I was given the translation correctly. The Windcutter's Fury is what they named this bard's grave, as well as, this Cloak of Seasons was given. If you'd like, a few more items in there as well, but for the most part, these would be what I believe would help you stand out the most. And with that, we will call it a night. What do you guys think of this new character, Celia?
Celia.
Oh wait, hold on. It's Celia in disguise.
Damn it.
I think you'll have to over. It's timbre or Timetry. Damn it! Now you got me saying it.
I know, right? It's Zelda. Zelda.
No, she seems neat.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hopefully running into her some more.
Yeah.
Seems cool.
I want the pole and the blanket. The lead.
The icicle pole or
no, the feather.
The giant stone staff with feathers at the top to make it look like a blade. Except this thing, like when she did the swooshing down, like the blades moved a little bit, but so there was some give to them, but you don't know if like this thing will actually slash up close. But it clearly made a very impressive wind long range.
Yeah, that's definitely not for her. That's for her guardian.
Yeah. Something for her friend.
And then
Cloak of Seasons.
Cloak of Seasons. I want.
What was the effect of
for Caleb?
Seasons as well?
Didn't give an effect, just told you what it was, what it looked like it was made of. Specifically, she would ask for things that would help her stand out the most. And these are 3 of the items she believes will help Kaylin stand out the most.
Okay. That whip definitely got me.
That can turn into a whip.
I knew it would.
The icicle whip that cut the Cloak of Seasons, the pole arm, and then she was going to wait because she wasn't sure what anyone else might ask.
Leah would kind of ask if there. Well, I mean, Leah would ask about kind of a handful of items, but
it's less about asking for an item and more like asking for a specific kind of
prompt.
Yeah, more or less like a prompt. Like, what do you need done? And let me see if I have something that can help.
Yeah, Kaylin will definitely ask what she would want for the feather staff and the cloak.
Yeah, she'll give you the general answer. Like, I do sometimes trade in, the usual monetaries, gold, but as I've learned, it's always good to also have a few items to barter with. if you have anything you believe would help me in my trades, then make an offer and we'll see. If not, I can. Well, could certainly see if I could hold something for you until you find something to trade.
Yeah.
I will do something, but I will probably wait till next session to do it.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Because this is most definitely not everything. She's only shown you 3 items. And there's many more in that.
Yeah.
In that little bit of in that card.
More to come. Yeah, no, I am
Very cool.
interested to see what will come of that. But I think yeah, we'll get into that next time.
Yeah,
Oh,
next time.
Next time. Oh, I think I found a human version of the Thorns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me actually pop it into therapy.